right, students, today we're going to do the second part of multiplying polynomials. So what we did on the first part is we might have had a monomial multiplied by a monomial, or a monomial multiplied by a binomial, or a monomial multiplied by a trinomial. So today we're going to deal with binomials and binomials, and maybe even binomials and trinomials. Okay? And when you multiply these types of polynomials, we use something that is called FOIL. Okay? So, if we have this binomial, and we're going to multiply it by a second binomial. This is what FOIL means, okay? The F stands for first, and I'm going to do it in red. So, what we do is we take the first term, x, multiply it by this term. Alright? So x times x is x squared. And then for the O, that stands for outer. So that means this first term times the outer on the second one. So x times a positive 2 is a positive 2x. And then the I stands for inner. Inner is the 3 times the x, which is a positive 3x. And then the L stands for last. So FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. And last would be the 3 times the 2, that's a positive 3 times a positive 2 gives you a positive 6. And then we need to simplify this polynomial, combine like terms. So I bring down my x squared, 2x plus 3x is 5x, and bring down my positive 6. So we just multiplied a binomial times a binomial by using FOIL. And one thing, if you put a little line right here, kind of looks like you got a smiley face when you're using your FOIL here. So it might help you, okay? All right, so let's practice some of these. All right, so we have x plus 2 binomial times x minus 5 binomial. So first we take x times x. X times x is x squared. Remember? When you multiply x times x, you add your exponents. Alright? And then we take x times 5 for the outer. X times, and that's a negative 5, is a negative 5x. And then we do inner. 2 times x, positive 2 times x, positive 2x, and then we do last. A positive 2 times a negative 5 is a negative 10. Combine like terms, x squared, negative 5 plus a positive 2 is a negative 3x, and then negative 10. All right, let's look at this one. We have a binomial squared. So that's x plus 2 times x plus 2. So we do our first. X times x is x, 1 plus 1, which is x squared. Then we do our outer. X times 2 is a positive 2x. Then we do our inner, x times 2 is a positive 2x. And then we do our last, 2 times 2 is a positive 4. Combine like terms. So 2x plus 2x is 4x. Bring down your x squared and your last term there, positive 4. Okay, let's FOIL this. First, so we have 3a squared squared times a squared. So remember, there's a coefficient in front of that a if you need to. 3 times 1 is 3. A squared times a squared, you add your exponents. Then we have outer, so that's 3a squared times negative 2b. All right, when you're multiplying, you do not have to have like terms, so multiply your coefficients. 3 times a negative 2 is a negative 6, a squared b. Then we have our inner, which is a negative 1b times 1a squared. Well, negative 1 times 1 is a negative 1, and then you have b a squared. And then we do our last, which is negative 1b times negative 2b. So negative 1 times a negative 2 is a positive 2. B times b, add those exponents, b squared. So this is what we had to do when we FOILed. All right, let's see if we have any like terms. A to the 4th? No. Okay, we have a squared b. A squared b. You can rewrite this as a squared b. So I have a negative 6 minus 1. Negative 6 minus 1. Add its opposite. That gives me a negative 7. A squared b. So that's this one and this one. And then I bring down my positive 2b squared. Now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply a binomial and a trinomial. And when you multiply a binomial and a trinomial, what you're doing is you're distributing here, okay? So we're going to take x times this trinomial. And then we're going to take this positive 2 times the trinomial. So we're going to distribute. X times x squared is x cubed. X times a negative 5x, so that's negative 5. Add your x's. And then x times positive 4 is positive 4x. All right, now let's do the second part. 2 times x squared is a positive 2x squared. A positive 2 times a negative 5x is a negative 10x. And then a positive 2 times a positive 4 is 8. All right, so now we need to see if we have any like terms. X cubed? No. Bring that down. X squared, negative 5x squared, and positive 2x squared. Negative 5 plus 2 is a negative 3x squared. We have 4x squared minus 10x. I'm sorry, that's 4x minus 10x. And then bring down your last term. You need to make sure that our final answer is in standard form, and it is. So there's your answer.
Skyla Nolan, if you're in the building, please come to the office. Skyla Nolan, please come to the office.
Okay, we're going to do the same thing for number 5. We're going to take the 3x and distribute it with this trinomial. And then we're going to take this negative 4 and distribute it with the trinomial. Okay, so let's distribute here. We have 3 times a negative 2, and we have x times x cubed. Okay? We have 3 times 5, x times x. We have 3 times a negative 6, and we have x. now let's distribute this second one. Class, remember, this is a negative 4, okay? So negative 4 times a negative 2 is a positive 8. Bring your x cubed. Negative 4 times a positive 5 is a negative 20. Bring down your x. Negative 4 times a negative 6 is a positive 24. Now let's see if we have any like terms. X to the 4th power, nope. X squared, nope. X we do. We have negative 18x and a negative 20. So negative 18 minus 20, add its opposite, so that's going to give me a negative 38x. I have x cubed, and then I have my last term there. Okay, we need to make sure that this is written in standard form. All right, so let's write the degrees. This one has degree 4, degree 2, degree 1, degree 3, degree 0. So we start with negative 6x to the 4th power. Then we go to a positive 8x cubed. Then we go to a positive 15x squared minus 38x plus 24. Last one. I'm going to go ahead and give you a warning here, guys. If I run out of time, I've got 3 minutes. We'll just cover this in class, all right? So, what we have here is we have x minus 2 cubed. So, let's focus on this first. The first two binomials. And what you're going to do here is you're going to FOIL. So, I have x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 4. Combine like terms. Okay? Then what I need to do is I need to multiply this trinomial with my last binomial here. Okay? So, this is where I take my x and multiply and distribute with the trinomial, and then I'm going to take the negative 2 and distribute it with the trinomial. So I have x times x squared, x times a negative 4x, x times 4. And be careful here, that's negative 2 times 1x squared. That's negative 2 times a negative 4x, negative 2 times a positive 4. Combine like terms. My final answer there is x cubed minus 6x squared plus 12x minus 8. And y'all have a good one.